if you're new to the hobby and you're wondering what is the best investment that I can get involved with when it comes to the Pokemon market, and I've got the answer for you. I'm going to tell you exactly what I would do if I had just got into this market and I didn't know anything that was kind of going on and I was just now learning. And I also just want to be straightforward and honest with you. You're not early by any means. And so everything we're going to talk about is because we're specifically in a bull market right now. And so the only thing you can think of is what you can get into right now and make the best of it, and make sure you understand your position in the market, because it's not going to get any cheaper, more than likely. All right, and so the best investment, in my opinion, we'll get straight to it, is Prismatic Evolutions. By now, you've probably seen other Pokemon YouTubers talk about this set and other influencers, and it's for good reasons. It has the highest set value, and it has EV evolutions in the actual, all the EV evolutions. And so because of that, it's just very popular, right? And because the set value is so high, it's like over $6,000, which is kind of crazy for Pokemon. There's a lot that are just like a 2,000 and less, and some that are less than 1,000. That's a set value, meaning the cards that you could possibly pull out of that is has a very high value. And Prismatic Evolutions is the highest in the Scarlet and Violet era. This makes it either, because of its position, this makes it good for short-term and long-term plays. Now, we are in the summer slowdown, so you've probably seen a lot of thumbnails that kind of mention that Pokemon market is slow right now, and it kind of is. Nothing's hyped up right now. There are things that are expected to come out, so there's a lot of speculation for future things, but as of right now, this is the perfect time to slow down, think about what position you would like to get in, think about the strategy you would like to take, and then that way you can actually take action, right? And so that's the biggest thing, figuring out the strategy and then taking action, and then staying the course with the strategy you develop. Because what happens is sometimes you get so locked up that you don't want to sell. I'd recommend practice selling something, especially if you can make any money off of something in Pokemon. You might want to just practice selling something. If it goes up 5% and you can make extra dollars off of it, I'd recommend just like selling it so you can see yourself physically letting go of the item and making money. Because a lot of people get too caught up of holding a product for too long, and that becomes a problem. Now, if you're investing, that's not necessarily a problem, but even in investing, sometimes that can be a problem. And we'll touch more back on that in just a second. Actually, we can go straight into that, because one of the strategies when it comes to Prismatic Evolutions is that it rotates out next year, meaning that the set will more than likely not be printed again when it rotates out early next year, usually like in the first quarter. It's like first quarter going to second quarter. It's like somewhere around like March. And then what I've learned is this year I saw 151, which is a Pokemon set that came out in the set before. I watched that set just skyrocket when it was out of quote unquote rotation. So it's not expected to be reprinted anymore. And the prices for the ETBs, the UPC, the Pokemon Center ETB, all those just kind of skyrocketed in price. And not only did the sealed product skyrocket, we saw the cards, like especially the top heavy ones, we saw them nearly like double in price. And so it made it very easy to get out of the product if that's something you wanted to do. So liquidity was super easy. Now, I think that's very important to understand, because I don't think liquidity is always going to be really easy, especially for regular people. For influencers and bigger, I don't know, we'll say LGSs, it's easier for them to get out of product, especially influencers. They get an interconnection with you, and then they're able to sell their products to you no matter what, because you feel like you're connected to them, right? And so it makes it easier for them to offload products at any point. So I'd be careful with watching your favorite influencer and thinking that you're going to hold as long as them, because when it's time for them to sell, they could probably sell at any point. Can you sell at any point? Probably not. When the market is going down, and if you're still in a product, it's going to be harder for you to sell it. But it's not going to be as hard for them to sell it, because they're going to feel like they're going to present themselves as Jesus, and it's going to make it easy for them to get rid of the product. So be careful about liquidity. All right. Prismatic is great for long term and short term. So short term is great because it is about to rotate out, right? You could start buying products now, and have the understanding that you plan on probably getting out when there's a leg up. You could wait for the next leg up, or you could probably wait till when things rotate out, because there'll probably be another leg up in that moment too. And as prices are increasing and things become more popular, that is probably the time you want to exit out. Now, there's multiple ways to go about this, especially if you're on a budget or if you don't really have a budget. But there's different products. You have booster bundles, which are one of the cheapest sealed products you get into. You have ETBs, which have been printed to the max. You have SPCs, which is a super premium collection. And then you have the Pokemon Center ETBs. Now, the Pokemon Center ETBs, I don't think at this point are probably a great short-term play, but I do think they're a great long-term play. I invest into PC ETBs and with Prismatic as a long-term play. I don't plan on getting rid of those in the short term, and honestly, I'm probably going to hold on to those for a very long time because I don't need to get rid of them. So I'm going to hold on to those for a long, long time. So if you're looking for a long-term play when it comes to Prismatic, that might be an option for you. That's how I'm going to go about it. And the reason why I use that as my long-term play when it comes to Prismatic is because of how exclusive it is and how hard it is to obtain that item. This is not an item that you can just buy in mass. And so your favorite influencers or your favorite LGS, they don't have the opportunity to buy so much and hoard it. And so you have to actually do extra work to go out and get these. You have to physically pretty much go get these from other people, or you don't have to leave your house. You could just buy them online too. But because it's distributed to everyone, you have to do a lot more work to get that product from other people, making it even more exclusive, right? Because a lot of people open their products. Usually you get two from the Pokemon Center. Usually what I've learned after talking to people, they usually open one and then they sell the other. That way they get some of their money back and they recoup it. And so I think because the set is so valuable, people are going to be degens and they're going to speculate even in the future of wanting to open that product. And even if they don't want to, a lot of people are just going to want to hold the sealed product because it has EV on the front and it's the top set from this generation. Okay, so that's one of my long-term plays that I plan on doing with that. Now, for short term, you could pretty much do any of the ones I mentioned, any of the other ones that I mentioned. The case is probably the easiest to store, so sometimes it's easier just to get a case of like ETBs. But if you can't, because it's expensive, then yeah, just buy regular ETBs and then swing trade it. Collect them throughout the rest of the summer, collect them throughout the rest of the year. That's what I did, and then understand your position and how you want to get out based on when things rotate out, because that is the current strategy. That's what a lot of people who are churning and burning and swing trading right now are looking at Prismatic. They're looking at that, they know that it's about to rotate out. And if you look at the chart right now, it went down for a little bit because there was a lot of reprints, but it's starting to creep back up again. So that is the current strategy when it comes to that. All right. And then I have, for long term, this is also, you could do any of these regular products too for long term, I believe, because this, I don't think I'm going to, but I think you could do any of these. And the reason why I say that is because, like I said earlier, people are just degens and they're going to speculate, right? Prismatic Evolutions has the highest, has an Umbreon with a crown. An Umbreon with a crown. Everyone wants the Umbreon with a crown. It's the highest, I think the raw value of that card is the highest in the Scarlet and Violet era. I don't know if it's the highest, has the highest value in it graded. When this is said and done, it probably will. But as of right now, that is the card that everyone is chasing in the Scarlet and Violet era. And because of that, in the future, people are still going to chase Umbreon with a crown. All right. Another thing that people talk about with this set, which I don't think is really important, is they mention that this set also has Master Ball. So this, if you're trying to, master collect this, it makes it harder to master collect because you have to also get the Master Ball specific of that particular card. I don't think people actually care about those as much as a lot of influencers talk about. They just mention it and they're like, it seems important, but at the end of the day, I think everyone mostly just pretends because it's something that is niche to this set for the Master Ball version. But I really don't think long-term that's going to carry any weight or have any negative value. At least that's my personal opinion. But I don't think it takes away at all from Prismatic Evolution. If anything, it adds a plus, but I feel like it's mostly just like a very small percentage. And so, anyway, long story short, Prismatic Evolutions, in my opinion, is probably the best play that you could do right now for either short term or long term if you're new to the hobby and you're trying to figure out what the heck to do. You're thinking right now that you probably, if you made it to this in the video, you've probably convinced that you should be getting into the 30th anniversary or the Rayquaza set. And I'm here to tell you, if your goal is to make money, that's especially for a long-term investment, it's probably not the play. You'll have plenty of time to do long-term investment in any product that comes out that it's new if you're going to do long-term. The best time to do long-term plays is really not during a bull market. It's when there's a downturn and people are not looking to invest into any of these sets anymore. That's when you go in, you scoop things up at a very low discounted price, and then you hold them and watch them go up in value entering a bull market. And so right now, my strategy is to make as much money as possible while, being in a hobby that I like. I like looking at this stuff. I like looking at shiny cardboards. I like looking at my sealed investments. A lot of these I'm going to hold. One of my strategies right now is I hold my plan is to hold like 10% of the things I buy for long-term investments, and then just kind of like selling off the others. I have financial goals that I want to achieve, and I think this is a fun way to be able to achieve that goal, while being able to look at things in a different way. Like looking at your phone, looking at your stocks, it's a little cringe sometimes because you just look at the word that the little. I was going to say IP address. That's not the word. But anyway, the little ticker symbol, right? You just see the ticker symbol with money value, but there's no actual like real attachment. Like when I buy Pokemon cards, I get to look at it and actually physically hold it. So it's a little different experience. So anyway, Prismatic Evolution, definitely the set I would look into. Do a lot of research. Ascended Heroes, you're going to hear about that too. That's trash. That's not really trash. Great set, but I don't think that that's the move if we're trying to figure out a strategy on how to make money, either that has both options of long-term and short-term. Prismatic is definitely the best set in Scarlet Violet era, and most of the things in Scarlet Violet era are about to rotate out, and it's a specialty set. Anyway, thank you for tuning in, listening to me. If you valued anything that I said, consider subscribing. I'm trying to get to 200 by the end of the year. I think that would be great. Anyway, thank you, and I value your time. Have a great day. PokeEye Doc out. Oh, go touch some grass.